Life's best moments are best captured by photography and video. You may ask, why photography and video? Because if a photo is worth 1,000 words, video is worth 1,000,000. And GPS photography and video will leave you speechless. GPS specializes in weddings, swords, fitness, and so much more. Book your next shoot today at 910-257-0526 or gpsphotoandvideo.com.
Welcome to the Amazon's Fitness Magazine podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by Maximus Posing Suits. Let your inner warrior shine. Custom-made competition suits for victory on every stage. And, of course, GPS photography and video. Why photography and video? Because a photo is worth 1,000 words. Video's worth 1,000,000. gpsphotoandvideo.com. And of course, we have a bronze level sponsor, Murder Weight Apparel. You're not just wearing a clothing brand, you're wearing a mindset. Murderweight.com. My guest is a 4-time Olympian, Tina Chandler. She is a business owner as well. So not just a pretty face. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time Olympian, Tina Chandler. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So we got time to talk about everything bodybuilding in your next show or your upcoming show. But first, tell me a little bit about Normal to Be Fit, which is your profit and nonprofit.
Correct. Right. There it is.
That's the logo, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to normalfit.com, scrolling across the bottom there. And tell me a little bit about what is Normal to Be Fit.
So Normal to Be Fit is it's a brand. It's a mindset that I came up with years ago that ended up helping a lot of my clients stay consistent in their lifestyle and their meal planning. And it kind of came together, and I coined it. And it's basically a mindset shift that helps people create a new normal for themselves. Whenever we function this way in the fit lifestyle, where we're eating a certain way and we're exercising regularly, our bodies seem to be optimally working and they seem to be functioning really well. And we're in good moods, and all the things that are happening seem to be more normal for us. So I said, why don't we call that normal and call what we do with happy hour and brunches, those are treats that we have sometimes, but this is what we should call normal. So that's kind of the concept.
And it seems that everything has been normalized, from drinking and partying, but anytime you normalize or talk about fitness, there was some type of traumatic thing that happened that presents the gateway into fitness, whether it was a doctor told you had to lose weight, or you got hurt and need rehabilitation. I understand it's a mindset, but how do we change people's mindset to see that fitness is normal? It's a normal everyday of life. Even when you see someone working out in the gym, the typical question you get, "Oh, are you getting ready for a show?"
Exactly.
And it can't just be, I'm just working out.
Yeah. So I think my approach to that is to help people understand that you don't have to go hard or go home. It's not about no pain or no gain. And
Right.
The more pleasant you make some of these steps, I think a lot of people will get on board. I think they just stop at the door because they're like, I don't want to do all that. And I'm here to say, you don't have to do it all like that. You don't have to do it like that. In fact, that's not how any of us do it. We get to that point because when we get to the point of intensity, we were already building in these baby steps. You have to start with the baby steps. And I think that the fitness industry really skips that over, and they're trying to sell the most sensational thing. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to do all that. That just seems way too hard.
Right.
It doesn't have to be so hard. A little bit at a time.
And you
That's
work with all lifestyles, all clients, but you have a special affection, if you will, or special passion for those that are need rehabilitated because they are um, paraplegics, quadriplegics, handicapped. And
mhm.
society is pretty much just, once someone gets to where they're paralyzed or they have a challenge like that, so society can forget them pretty quickly. You
That's
know.
right. Yeah, I do. I have a special place in my heart for it because, some individuals came into my life with cerebral palsy and scoliosis,
Mhm.
and really wanted to do a bodybuilding show, and uh, basically I took it on, and then actually learned a lot about this part of our community. And a lot of them are forgotten. A lot of programs are offered for people with disabilities up through childhood until they're about 18, and then
Mhm.
a lot of their programs drop off. There are really no benefits and programs for adults with disabilities. Well, these are disabilities that last the rest of their lives,
Yeah.
and they need a lot of assistance. We're all not that different. We all have, imbalances. Some of their imbalances are just a little bit more. But I'm here to say, like, we can all still work out. We can all still do the things we need to do. So it's not different to me. It's just, what are your problems? Even people with injuries. I mean, what are your problems? We do the same thing. We approach it the same way. Let's get around it. Let's make it happen.
What's been some of your most loved clients, or tell me some testimonial stories? I've looked on your website and seen the different people that are trying to rehab and work with you that do have cerebral palsy or some kind of disability. Tell me your best story of one of your best clients.
Well, I mean, I can't. One comes with the other, right? So it all started with Wade McRae Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He has cerebral palsy and extreme scoliosis. Now he was the beginning. He came to me at the gym and said, I want to train for a bodybuilding show. Now his scoliosis was so severe that his ribs were like puncturing his lungs.
Mm.
And so getting in the gym and strengthening his body was actually a life thing, like to strengthen his spine so that he
Right.
could hold up a little straighter and stronger. So we started training, and I mean, miraculous things happened. He put on some muscle. He did a bodybuilding show. He turned pro as a bodybuilder with the GBO organization. And then a year later, his wife, who also has cerebral palsy and
Mm.
scoliosis, started training with me. And in that journey, she lost over 100 pounds and then entered into a pageant where she actually walked. After 17 years of not walking, she used her walker on that stage. And actually, it's pretty cool because now that's BJ, his wife.
Mm.
8 years later, she's still doing some of the pageants. She actually started doing bodybuilding shows with him. And this year, she's qualified for nationals in Chicago for
That's great.
for the Miss Amazing pageant. Now, so it's pretty exciting. I mean, these are some awesome stories, of overcoming so many obstacles. People just don't realize, even just on a daily basis, getting up and making breakfast or making a bed, like all of these things, it takes them 100 times longer to do it. And
Hmm.
imagine doing a meal plan and making it to the gym, making it on time, dealing with transportation issues. They did all of it. So it's like, what is any of our excuses? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's what I love about it. I love it. It makes us all better.
There's some great stories, and like I said, a lot of it plays out right on your website. And looking at that, and people can go and follow, and hopefully everyone will subscribe. Now, how do they donate through the website as well?
Yeah, you just go to the website. You can go to the foundation page, and it
Mhm.
has right there the donate button. It might be on the main page, but go to foundation page, and there's a donate button there. So yeah, that'd be awesome. We provide
Normalfit.com.
scholarships and free service to training and helping them with accessories, whatever it takes to keep them going.
Now, you work with the Paralympics as well, right?
Yeah, there are some Paralympic athletes that train at the facility where we do a lot of our training work, and
Mhm.
they take their teams all overseas and everything. So a few of them come into our class and work out, and get tips from me. And, it's kind of like a family. We just share information and keep each other going.
And something we were talking about earlier, we got the wheelchair category, like at the Arnold's, but there's always a lot of males, but there's not many females out there that I've seen that are participating in wheelchair at the IFBB level or at GBO level or any of the categories.
Yeah, no, that's very true. In fact, when I first started this journey of researching this community,
Mm-hmm.
I quickly found out that the women in wheelchairs is there's like a tier the way that society treats you, and they're kind of like at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has a special place that you even asked me about that, because we
Yeah.
really do need to help empower them. Like, and it's an interesting thing. So when men become injured and then are in a wheelchair, the wheelchair users, men do not lose their masculinity. Their upper body is still present and very seen, and they still have an identity within themselves. And so when women become wheelchair bound, they really don't have what society looks at them like. They look over them. They're no longer beautiful. They don't have the figure, like all kinds of things. Like, I've seen some of the women in wheelchairs wear heels just to make sure society sees, like, I've got my stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overlook me, you know? So it's an interesting concept, right? But we do need to bring us all up to the same playing field here. And so I'm really interested in helping do that.
Yeah, because I
Um,
always see the males when I'm like, okay, well, maybe there wasn't enough to fill the category or whatever, but I have not seen a lot of females in the wheelchair competing.
yeah, I don't think there's a
So,
lot of encouragement for it.
yeah,
It's kind of like, if you don't see it, you don't think about it, right?
right.
But I know some really big badass women in wheelchairs. I mean,
Oh yeah,
they're
they're
playing.
out there.
They are. I see them
Yeah.
playing rugby with the guys. I mean,
Mhm.
wheelchair rugby, wheelchair basketball. There's some really hardcore athletes. So, it's just bringing the awareness and, like, let's open it up.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
continue the marketing and stuff. But yeah, uh, you got to have a place on the stage for everybody, every athlete that wants to compete,
exactly.
whether it's competition stage and bodybuilding or competition as far as sports or anything. So that's great. Love what you do. Normalfit.com. Make sure that everyone goes out there and subscribe to their YouTube channel as well, and the website, and you can donate and go on from there, because not many people take it on to do what you do. And I think that's great.
Thank you. Well, I'm always on for anybody else coming on board to help.
Good stuff. So let's switch to bodybuilding, and we'll talk a little bit about that. You've been off the stage for 10 years?
I think it's going to be 11 this year.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are a four-time Olympian.
Hmm.
So you've been there, done that. But at the time that you were competing, there was still a point system, and now it's win and you're in. What's been your thoughts on what you've seen, how women's bodybuilding, since you've been gone for a decade, to where it is now, out of the Olympia, now back in the Olympia, you got the Rising Phoenix. Give me your thoughts on what you've seen.
I mean, I see some really amazing athletes is what I've seen. I think they're really bringing their game. It is different, and I mean, some of it's still the same. Of course, it's bodybuilding.
Right.
But the point system is not there anymore. And I think, I think all four times I got to Olympia, I got there on points. I
Mm,
would either get second place or third place, and that would always be enough for me to get there. So now it's do or die. You either win or you don't. You're either there or you're not.
yeah.
And the competition. I mean, girls are amazing. They've gotten size, and so it's. I mean, to me, it's exciting.
Hmm.
It's exciting to see the all the different really amazing athletes instead of
Hmm.
just all of the same ones. So it makes it kind of exciting. Like, you don't know who's going to take it or do what. I mean, we have the main ones, but I don't know. To me, it's been kind of exciting to see the lineups, especially
Yeah.
because I'm not that familiar with everybody just yet. But a lot of people are coming back. A lot of people are just bringing it. So
Yeah. Hella Trevino is back.
I
You got,
know.
you got those mass monsters. such as
Exactly.
Bella, and then you got the girls that are stature like Angela Yo,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's been bringing.
Ashley Jones, you know, and the whole thing used kinesiology terms, ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph, the body types. But there's no telling how it's going to play out. But it's amazing to see the transformation of all those body types, whether you're real tall, short, and to get on that bodybuilding stage. So amazing physiques.
Yeah.
So as we now getting ready for it, you got 7 shows left. I just head to Toronto. You had Atlanta coming up, Chicago, Anaheim, Tampa, Portugal, Spain, and Romania, and then of course the Rising Phoenix. So what show are you doing?
So I'm gonna do the Atlanta.
The
That's
Linda Murray Atlanta Pro Show.
Linda
Okay.
Murray's Atlanta Pro. Yeah.
What made you choose Atlanta? Was it
Um,
just where it fell on the schedule, or?
it fell on the schedule. Yeah, that was my timing. That I feel pretty good about, and I mean, I love Linda, and
Yeah.
I thought, what a great way to go and get back into the sport, is to be around people that I feel
Yeah.
kindred to, and I know it's going to be a well done show, so want to have a good experience. I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back. I mean, it's been pretty great, having perspective and purpose and enjoy, like
Mhm.
not just chasing a trophy. I'm actually just going to enjoy getting out here, promoting and doing stuff, and enjoy the process.
The Linda Murray Atlanta Pro. So there you have it. What have you most missed about being away?
I've missed, uh, I mean, the intensity, right? Like doing competition always makes me better,
Hmm.
like in life in general. It makes me say yes to myself on all counts. I think that help. I think that is true for a lot of people, and I think I've missed that part.
Hmm.
And the intensity of just striving to find out whatever my best is. Now I did that in business. I mean, I applied the same intensity to that, but I've
Right.
missed the physical journey. So I wanted to see what I could do to come back and get it back.
Well, you're gonna get it back, no question.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Do you remember what was the last show that you did, and what was the feedback from that show?
Well, the last show I did was the 2013 Olympia,
Hmm.
and I mean, I don't know if I remember what feedback there was. I didn't from the first time I did Olympia to the last time. The
Hmm.
last time I didn't do as well as I had done the time before that. you
Right.
know and it just felt like I needed to take the break. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
let me just take a break, let me step back for a minute, let me get perspective, let me do some life things that I want to do anyway. And ironically, that was the last year that women's bodybuilding was in Olympia.
That I was gonna say,
you
yeah.
know now
You knew.
that isn't why I didn't compete.
Yeah.
That was not the determining factor for me. It
But you
was,
couldn't.
but then I couldn't
What?
anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it wasn't the reason. There
Right.
was still, they were still able to compete. In fact, I went to the first Rising Phoenix,
Hmm.
and I mean, I was always there. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but it was more personal reasons, personal journey.
Right.
Purpose. Yeah. hmm
How have you applied bodybuilding to your business?
uh Following through on your word, like setting out a plan, executing the plan, setting out deadlines,
Hmm.
um like planning, like any, putting in daily habits that can get
Right.
you to where you're trying to get, setting those goals. Yeah.
So basically, just everything that you apply for bodybuilding, you take it into business, and you've been
Yeah.
successful. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's great.
all success comes from the same formula, I think.
Yeah.
you know hmm
So the Atlanta Pro, roughly 4 weeks out. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel pretty good. I took my time, building building into this year and getting
Mhm.
ready, and I feel relaxed and I feel pretty good. I mean, it's been an interesting journey seeing some of it come back, and we'll see
So
what.
has it been just like getting back on a bike and riding?
I mean, it kind of is. Some
Mhm.
things are the same, some things are a little different. I think for me, it's better this go around. I just feel better in general. Plus, I mean, I've got some amazing sponsors this time around too. I've got
Okay, shout them out. Who you got?
You Only Younger,
Mm,
Dr. Tammy Owen at You Only Younger. They have absolutely like been my entire wellness sponsor for this prep and this year. And I mean, it's made all the difference in the world. And I can't wait to tell everyone all the things that I've been doing because,
mm,
like I said, I feel so much better going through this. And I'm, 11 years older. It's not the same, but I feel better because
mm.
of all of the like they cover my labs. I do IV drips, I do
Right.
tuning forks, we do Rasha meditations, we all kinds of frequency work
Mhm.
to raise your vibration and balance your chakras. Like these things actually are a part of us. Like it's proven. This is a scientific clinic, and
Mhm.
some one of the things that I've learned along this journey is that if we deny one or the other, we're not going to fully succeed. So mind,
Mhm.
body, spirit goes together. Like you can work on your physical all day long, but some of your imbalances are coming from a spiritual void
Yeah.
or an imbalance. And so if you're not really addressing some of that, it's persisting. I, I've had certain things persist no matter what I did, no matter
Mhm.
how much I tried to bring up my right side, my left side was always, you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I am so, so, so grateful to have them on board and very excited to see it pan out, you know?
That's
We have a
great.
we have a lot to share with people, and Dr. Cami wants to bring this into the sport, share it, uh,
Mhm.
and help everyone be their best. Vibrate higher, get rid of all the blocks and things.
Right.
So,
And I've heard a lot of champions talk about manifestation. How strong is your faith, muscle mind connection, muscle mind muscle maturity, or mind and muscle connection. And so you've been there, done that, 4-time Olympian. So you got a lot of experience coming into this. What would be your advice to the young athletes or the young female bodybuilders that's coming into the division based on what you've seen?
stay grounded and be smart.
Mm,
Stay grounded and be smart.
yeah,
Don't go ahead. Don't get ahead of yourself. Be
because it
aware.
does take time.
Mhm.
It does take time. I mean,
It
um,
it does, but slow and steady wins the race.
mhm,
And when you're accepting that type of pace, you're actually able to experience more and make less mistakes and overlook less too. Pay attention
mhm.
to all the little things. Learn yourself, learn your body. Don't just take it for word from someone else.
What are your goals for this season as you're getting ready to go for your fifth time at the Olympia? If things don't work out in Atlanta, will you do another show?
Yes. Yes. If it does or it doesn't, I actually have decided I still want to do the Tampa also.
Okay.
Mhm. I always did so well at the Tampa. I love the show.
Hmm.
It's only 2 weeks right after the first one. I think it's just a good plan for me. I mean, my goal, definitely is to qualify for Olympia and get back on that stage. And then after just kind of, see how I do. And then if I do really well, then say, hey, I've got a book coming out. Do you want to hear all the things that I've done at this age
Right.
and been able to do this? Let me share this with you. Let me share some good stuff with. So that's my goal is to get
Hmm.
this out there and to really empower people in their own minds and bodies.
And speaking of your book, tell me about it.
So it's about 3/4 of the way done.
Okay.
It was gonna be done about by now, but I came across some new research, and I wanted to be more informed. I didn't want to put out anything old, so I wanted to get up on the latest science. So I've done that, and so it's basically a book that helps demystify all the things the fitness industry has tried to sell to us. Um,
Wow. Okay.
really tell the real stuff about fitness and take the intimidation out of it and get a lot of people on board to say, hey, this is actually how it's done. Now, I know there are certain books that are out there like that too, but I have my
Right.
own unique way of speaking about it. Plus, the message of working with people with disabilities is one of the most motivating factors I think anyone could ever read about is,
Hmm.
just like my story with Wade and BJ, how can that not motivate you when you see all of the obstacles these people are overcoming? And then what's my excuse? Someone
You're
else
right.
do all that. I can certainly get up and go walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've got some great stories in there, and really just I think approach fitness in a different mindset.
That's great. When you think you'll finish, now I guess the prep slowed,
The
gonna
prep,
slow the writing down.
it has. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're all in on one thing, it's hard. But I'm really going to try to push and get it done in the next month or two. And I'm thinking definitely published and stuff by Olympia. So
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can get that.
Okay.
So that would be a great promo. I'm going to be there whether I'm on stage or not. But
Well,
that's
when you envision it, you have on the night of Meet the Olympians, you have your book laid out, book signing. There you go.
I mean, that's kind of the plan here. That's
That's
what
great.
I like to do.
And what's the title of it again?
I don't know. I don't have the title yet.
Oh, okay.
Hit the new normal, or I don't know. Working on that. That in the
Okay.
cover. But it's the first normal to be fit book. So
Well, like I said, if you want to submit an article to Amazon's Fitness Magazine, please do. That's great because the magazine is all about putting the women competitors up front. So when they're writing something, it's not just photo shoots or contributing in any way. That's great, and you definitely have a great story. So I'm excited to see it.
awesome. Thank you.
So if all goes well, I will see you in Atlanta at the
Great.
Linda Murray. So all the best, and I'm gonna get you out of here on this one, and I want to float back to this season and what you've seen since you've been gone. Points here, points gone. The number of shows of women bodybuilders uh, decreasing, right?
hmm
You look at prize money. When you look at the overall take, why would you come back now? What inspired you to come back?
Oh well, that's easy. I mean, it's like I said, like it's my journey. It's my purpose. It's a way for me to get out here and push a message that I want to push. Now, did I come back to the sport because I think it's the biggest prize money? And no, it's because I love the sport,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to help it. I want to use it to help promote some really good stuff. Bottom line. And if I can help the sport out in any way, I've always been here to do that. I think that we need to pull together, like a lot of the girls have done, and just keep pushing. I wish, I wish the point system was still here, because
Mm-hmm.
then there could be more of us up there. But I do understand. I mean, I did have a good conversation with Jake this last Olympia, and we had a good sit down. He explained it to me how certain
Can you
categories.
share anything about
Mm,
that
Just
conversation?
just he just told me what's new, what's new and
Gotcha.
what's happening now, and just that some of these categories have so many people, like 40 people on stage at Olympia, and Olympia is not meant for that. It's meant
Right.
for the top 15 in the world. It's to add the prestige, and that's what he's trying
Mhm.
to do. And I agree with that, but with the women's bodybuilders, it's making us less. So I don't know. I mean, I wish we had more shows. I wish we had more, but I'm grateful that we have what we have. I'm super
Mhm.
grateful that we have what we have. And we're in Olympia, thanks to Jake, all of that. So we have a place and we're back and I'm back. So
We're
let's do
glad
it.
you're back.
Yeah.
Tina Chandler, Normal to Be Fit, normaltobefit.com. Make sure you check it out. And of course, subscribe to all her social medias. And of course, contribute uh, to normalfit.com. So check it out. And anytime you can promote a female bodybuilder's business or a competitor's business, that's just another way you can give. It's not so much that you sponsor, but that's like a sponsorship as well. So support their business. Tina, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. So there we have it. Tina Chandler is going to do the Atlanta Pro. It's few and far between. The countdown is on. So everybody that's out there with the 7 or 8 shows, counting the Rising Phoenix, we're going to see who's going to get in and who's going to be on the outside looking in. But the Atlanta Pro, 12 through 14 July, Tina Chandler will be there competing on the women's bodybuilder side. So really appreciate everyone for tuning in. More to follow is Wellness Wednesday tomorrow night. And of course, more shows will be, or more competitors will be added to the podcast this week and going into next week. So thanks for all the new subscribers to AmazonsFitMag.com. Appreciate you. All the new subscribers to the newsletter, as well as on Instagram and all the social medias, and of course to the YouTube channel. So when you do more, I can do more. Love sponsoring athletes. I've been able to sponsor and continue to grow the magazine because it's all about the women and celebrating the female physique. I'm Glenn Young. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8:30 for Wellness Wednesday. So make sure you guys check it out and talk soon.